normally become significant as the person is growing up. And again, it runs concurrently, like I said, with moral development, cognition, as well as physical aging. And then when you are older, the religious doubts appear to be less common, because at this point you have established yourself at some belief, right? During this time around, I would hear Irene, I think now I'm going to start going to seventh day. 3-4 years later, no, I think I am going to become a Muslim. And then sometime later, I thought you were going to the mosque. Oh no, I stopped, now I'm going to CCP. I meet her about 50 years from now. She's 50 years old and she tells me, no, I've been in CCP for the past 20 years and I don't think I'm going anywhere else. What is happening? As she's growing, the doubts become less. And then you establish yourself in a specific or a certain belief. It is going to be something very odd to find a 70-year-old person changing religions. At 70 years, you've been through it all these years, and then at 70 you're changing? It happens, yes, but there has to be a very bigger power that should make you change that. It has to be a very big push that is supposed to push you from wherever you're believing to something else new. So my point is, the impact of religious doubts appears to be less common in older adults, because people now tend to become more devout in their given religion as they grow older. Can we go on? Okay. An individual's religious experience may not always be wholly positive, which can result in negative impacts in an individual's health. An individual's religious experience may not holistically be positive. So if the religious experience is not holistically positive, it can cause a negative impact on a person's health. So if the individual has been hurt by religion, it is going to have an impact on development, right? Can you think of a religion that can, a practice that would cause a negative impact on a person, in as far as religion is concerned? Polygamy. Is polygamy a religion? Oh well. A practice. Okay, polygamy. What kind of a negative impact can it cause on a person's health? Okay, so here is a religion that says yes to polygamy. So, alright, in this belief that we are believing in, it's okay to have 4 or 5 wives, as long as you're feeding them, as long as they have got a shelter and all. So, in the course of doing that, you are bringing in diseases, right? Alright, and we are saying they can have a negative impact on an individual's health. Apart from just apart from the diseases, but the fact that you need to sit down as a man and start thinking of how do I manage 5 wives, that's a stress on its own. That's an impact on your health on its own. That is going to affect your health. And eventually, is development going to be affected? It will, right? If you're sick, your development is going to be affected. If you're stressed to the core, your development is also going to be affected. But at the same time, having 5 wives, do you have time for yourself? No. You don't have time for yourself where you can go out freely and interact. You are going to go out, interact, but you've got a baggage behind whereby you're thinking, so house number 3 doesn't have A, B, C, D, and I only have 1, 2, 3. What happens? So that somehow is going to interfere with a person's health. And as far as the health is concerned, in the way we describe development, then this has been affected as well. Some researchers have suggested that religious doubts can also foster growth in one's faith life. A person's religious doubts can also foster faith in a person's religious life. You understand the statement? You've got doubts in a religion, and that doubt that you have is helping you to foster a faith. Foster, F-O-S-T-E-R. Some researchers have suggested that religious doubt can also foster growth in one's faith life. I want you to hear the statement and understand it. Religious doubt fostering growth in one's faith life. Religious doubt can foster growth in one's faith life. So this is the kind of growth that has come into play now. What kind of growing is happening? Faith growth. How can we categorize a faith growth? Is faith social? Is faith cognitive? Yes. Cognitive, social? He says social, she says cognitive. What do others think? So you're doubting a faith. So as you are in the course of doubting, something else is developing in you. So the growth of faith is the kind of growth that we are focusing on. So my point is, if we are going to place it somewhere, faith growth, is it cognitive? Is it social? Is it emotional? Is it biological? Definitely biology, no. How about social, emotional, or cognitive? Where is faith originating from? In the brain? Social? Emotional? Yes, Dennis. Social? Okay. Research also demonstrates that religious individuals tend to have more access to religious services, improved coping skills, support from positive social network, and of course increased self-esteem and the meaningfulness of life. So if you identify yourself to a specific social group, they've got their own way how they teach their people to cope up with life. You go to, if you are a Christian, we've got all these seminars, youth seminars, you've got marriage seminars, you've got singles seminars. I don't know about Muslims, I can't give examples of that. But I think they also have got their own movements whereby it's targeting a specific group of people, whereby people are trained how they can cope up with life. So, what is happening when these things are happening? You are a youth, you go through a youth seminar. From that, you have been given or you have acquired skills how you can adapt through this life in specific ways. Whether it's going to be in general or whether it's going to be in as far as religion is concerned, but you have moved from one level to another because your skills have been sharpened. They have instilled some skills in you. But in which circles? Religious circles. So religion is going to help a person develop by helping them improve their coping skills. But again, they've got access to other services. When you've got access to other services, it means you also have got the chance to grow in other areas. You can socialize with other people. Your cognitive development is going to be at least in a better place. But at the same time, environmentally, remember, the environment also influences growth. So if you've got that, then you're at a better place. You think of a child who goes to a specific religion or a specific church. They go to Sunday school, they are telling them this is how you're supposed to behave, this is A, B, C, D, and apart from that, because of their church or because of their religion, they've got access to higher institutions. As they're growing up, they're also going, say you're a Catholic. From there you go to a secondary school Catholic. From there you go to a university Catholic. What is happening? You've got access to religious services. So, because of that, it can help you develop. It can also help you grow. If your religion is rich enough, it is also going to give the child a lot of things to play around with to stimulate their thinking, right? So, religion plays a part. Is there any question so far? And come to think of the idea that when you're under the influence of religion, there are other immoral practices that are reduced. Do not have sex outside marriage. Do not drink. No substance abuse. What is happening? Religion is instilling these things in people. So, all things constant. Alcohol, forgery, these are going to play a part in the person's health. They are going to tamper with development, with growth in the person in one way or the other. So religion is going to pave way for development. How? By making sure that there is a reduction in some of these practices that a human being indulges in. So, it decreases substance abuse, alcohol consumption, as well as risky sex encounters. These can be reduced by beliefs in religions. Is there any question so far? No? All right, so can we conclusively say that religious development runs concurrently with moral development, cognition, as well as physical aging? Can we agree on that? Religious development runs concurrently with moral development, cognition, as well as physical aging. All right, let's look at gender. Gender. The impact of gender on development. How does gender impact development? Okay, when we're talking about gender, gender is embodied by a socially constructed set of expectations. Gender is embodied by It is embodied by a socially constructed set of expectations that differentiate the roles and attributes of the sexes, and often accounts in part for sexual division of labor. So, gender has got an impact on development. The gendered nature of life course trajectories, they clearly structures and constrains the health-related resources and opportunities of men and women. What do we call the state of being male or female? What do we call the state of being male or female?
Sex.
The state of being male or female is sex?
No.
Gender, right?
Yes.
Okay. So here we are defining gender and its roles, eh? Gender roles. When we are talking about gender roles, they are the socially constructed sets of expectations that differentiate the roles and attributes of sexes, and often accounts in part of sexual divisions of labor. So when you're talking about gender, it is simply the state of being male or female. But when you're talking about gender roles, we are talking about now the socially constructed expectations. Wherever we're coming from, we expect the males to do A, B, C, D, E, the females to do A, B, C, D, E. These are the gender roles. So the point is, can this play a part in the developmental issues of a person? There are speculations, or maybe I should start by saying the factors of gender on development, they may interact with the environment as well as the biological traits of a person to bring about differences in health. I said a statement whereby I said the gendered nature life. Take this one down so that you should be able to understand what I am about to explain. When I say the gendered life or the gendered nature of life, what do you understand by that? The gendered nature of life. So the gendered nature of life course trajectories clearly structures and constrains the health-related resources and opportunities of men and women. So when you're talking about a gendered life course, we are talking about a life whereby we have decided to say these are males and these are females. These are things that are done by males and these are things that are done by females. So we are going through the life course with this kind of mentality. So we are saying this has got an impact on the health of a person. I mean, as far as a man or a woman is concerned. So these factors may work additively, or they may interact with one another to produce the gender differences in health. The gender nature life course brings about a difference in gender in as far as health is concerned. So we are living through life to say, you grow up as a female child, you're supposed to wake up in the morning, go outside, start sweeping. After sweeping, you come back in the house, start washing the plates, and then you cook for everybody else. What is a boy child doing? The boy child is going to wake up, maybe go open the chickens so that they should go out and eat. And after that, he's going to bath and wait for the sister to cook food. So they grow up to become men and women. The woman is expected to take care of the children. The woman is expected to find food, to prepare everything and take care of the home. The man is expected to go out and fend for the family. How he's going to do that, we don't care, as long as there is food on the on the table. Whether he's going to work at night, whereby he's going to harass a few people, bring back food home, that's okay, as long as the food is there. But now the question is, wherever this guy is going to get food, how he's getting the food. We have seen people that are carrying 350 kg bags on their shoulders, moving from space to another space. Others are carrying heavy loads. Others are doing these dangerous kind of jobs, whether they are going through the sewer pipes or whatever they're doing, but it's got an impact on their health. At the same time, the woman at home, whatever she's doing. So this gender nature kind of life, whereby we have assigned roles to different sexes, it has got an impact on the health of the people. Do we agree with that? Yes. So these factors may work, or they may interact with each other to produce a gender difference in health. So you discover that what men and what women are suffering from or are going through has got something to do with the gender-centered kind of life. Is that making sense? Okay. Research has been there, and it has provided evidence on differences between men and women in the prevalence of many diseases, disabilities, and mortality. So it has been said that because of our gender-centered or gender-natured life, there is a difference in the mortality of men and women. There is a difference in the diseases as well as the disabilities that come along with that. All that, they are going to bring a difference in the gender differences in health. Is it true that women live longer than men?
Yes.
What kind of a yes is that? So what do you think are some of the things that contribute to the women living longer than men when we're looking at the gender and nature of life course? You're daring. Cheeto? What kind of cheeto can bring about a disease in a man? Farming? Mechanic? What kind of a disease can come about because of being a mechanic?
Stroke.
Stroke? Because you are a mechanic?
No.
So what would bring about a stroke?
Maybe carrying heavy load.
Okay, she says carrying a heavy load can bring about stroke. When you're suffering from stroke, what is generally suffering in a person's body? The nerves, remember?
Yes.
We talked about nerves. So can nerves be affected by carrying heavy loads? How about high blood pressure, which results in stroke? And now my question would be, what would bring about the high blood pressure? Thinking. What are you thinking in as far as gender-natured life is concerned? How you are going to provide.